Power to the people. We are back to do maintenance. You are tuned in to the Keep It Clean podcast. This is episode number 17. I'm your host, Nico. I'm here with my brothers today. We got my boy Rose in the building. What's going on, man?
What's the word, my boy?
Everything is love, bro, as always. Got my brother Ev in the building. What's going on, man?
Not much, not much. What's going down? How y'all doing?
Everything is good, man. Our brother Ray is not with us this week. Salute to that brother. He is out on family business. Happy birthday to brother Ray and mother Ray. You know what I'm saying? A lot of birthdays going on. Speaking of which, happy birthday, my boy Ev. Your birthday was this week.
Thank you. And in return, happy birthday to you. Your birthday was also this week.
Yes, sir. The very next day, man. So with that, how was your week, brother? What you do this week?
Man, this week was a hectic week with work. I didn't take no time off on work. I normally take my birthday and the week after kind of like off as a reset for myself. But this year I didn't because I'm using that time toward the end of the month. So it was real busy with work. And also, I got to say, celebrated my anniversary with my fiance as well. So shout out to that. The day
Salute.
before my birthday. So this week was also just a hectic week for that. So
We're
you
spending
know,
bread.
yeah. So Tuesday, was just a good time between me and her, spending time together, having, memories, reflecting on the relationship and everything. So having a good time with that. And then the next day, celebrate the birthday, having us a nice little fancy dinner, seeing family, appreciated all the love from everybody and people that's out there listening, to people who, family, friends who did spread the love. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. So, just doing all that and then back to the grind the next day, work, and got a concert to go to tonight, so go enjoy that, cap off the birthday week, and just had a good time, man. How about yourself? What you do this week?
Our week was cool, bro. Work. I took the day off. I didn't do nothing. I don't think for real. Shout out to my lady, man, making my birthday fire. We went on I got a record player type shit for the first time. Got a whole bunch of vinyls. You know what I'm saying? I got that To Pimp a Butterfly vinyl. Boy,
That's tough. That's
boy,
tough.
boy, that joint sound crazy. But yeah, got that. Dinner, crazy. Breakfast, crazy. You know what I'm saying? We going to the strip club later. You know what I mean? Just gonna had a good little week, man. So it was a good week for me. Rose, how was your week, man?
Man, same old shit, bro. Staying in the grind. Niggas still ain't got no whip, but that's by choice currently. Like it feel good not to pay certain bills right now. So I'ma just keep on right. Like, even though I'm taking Ubers and all that shit, I'm spending less bread. Like
Mm,
Mm.
okay.
I'm still spending less bread. Uber Eats to the I'm still spending less bread. So it's cool. We rocking with the UFC event tonight. First time in Atlanta, so we're
Yeah.
gonna do
Man,
that,
that's tough.
and we're gonna have a good little weekend. Be smooth.
Good, man. It's good, man. I'm glad you brothers are doing well. Real quick, housekeeping. If you are tuned in on YouTube, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you are tuned in on Apple or Spotify, please be sure to like the page and add us to your library so you can follow along. Stay tapped in with us on social media at Keep It Clean Pod on Instagram and at Keep It Clean Show on the TikToks. My brothers, we got a batch, dirty topics. Let's keep it a buck, keep it a bean, and most importantly, let's keep it clean. First off, let's get our kicks off. Ev, I know you got a kick to get off, brother. Let's do it. Keep it clean solos. What you got?
All right, so this solo, it's a positive thing actually right here this time around. This is for all the men out there, this weekend. This episode will be out on Tuesday, of course, but this is Father's Day weekend. So I just want to take the time to say happy Father's Day out there to all the men out there, all the men that are fathers, stepfathers, male role models, playing just a positive figure to some children, or to just people in general. All males that's out there, we appreciate you. If you ain't been saying that, if you haven't been told that, um, the pressures that you deal with, the weight of the world, and then coming home to still raise a family, take care of your children, taking care of your business, that's an inspiration. That's an aspiration. Somebody as myself who doesn't have children, I really, I look forward to that day and having that and going through that. So I just wanted to keep it clean and say thank you. Happy Father's Day. We appreciate you and we love you.
For
That's
sure,
it.
for sure. Happy Father's Day, Rose, on the early tip. Happy Father's Day, my
I
boy.
appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Happy
Yes,
Father's
sir.
Day.
I don't have no solo this week. I know, Rose, you said you don't have one neither. So we're going to get straight into Cap in your raps, and I will start us off. To all of my fellow black people that are running around outside talking about you ain't going to the protest because folks is calling you and you ain't pulling up. I'm calling cap on the fact that anybody called any of y'all. First off, I'm calling cap there. I don't believe nobody has picked up no phone to call you to go nowhere. That's number one. Number two, I'm not dumb, y'all. My memory is not short. I remember right after the election when y'all was talking about, we looked at the exit polls and y'all said, you see them numbers? You see how black people voted? Our hands is up. We ain't got nothing to do with nothing that come after this because we on the right side of history. First of all, you're wrong, and we will get to that later. But second of all, don't try to tell me now that you're not pulling up because folks is calling you. You wasn't pulling up to begin with in the first place. So just stand tall in that and keep it clean. That's it. That's all I got. Anybody else got a cap in your raps for this week, man?
I got a cap in your raps, but it's a little different. Musicians. Sorry if y'all might take offense.
No, let's get to it. Let's go.
Musicians. This is actually for like famous celebrities and like tributes. Bruh, stop smiling when y'all know some of them tributes to y'all be ass. Stop smiling in the crowd. Big caps in your raps. Y'all know it be mid and y'all be forced to just smile and oh yay. Y'all know them songs do not be hitting when these other artists be singing in tribute to y'all. Okay. I'm gonna speak on this later about somebody.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying in tributes in general, man, be honest, keep it clean. All right. This is a cap in your raps because you keep it clean too. Because y'all know them songs don't be hitting by some of them artists when they paying tribute to you. And y'all just got to be forced to smile. Give the Prince treatment. All right.
I was just about to say, rest in peace to Prince. That man ain't pulling no punches.
It's okay. All right.
Trey Songz was up there. That boy Prince was like,
because we can hear, we all can hear the same thing. So yeah, that's the cap in the raps, man. Just keep it honest, man. We know you capping when you showing face that you like it.
For sure. Appreciate you, brother.
I do got something to say real quick, man.
Let's do it.
Drewski, my boy. You not low. Yeah, man. You not low. I seen you at the BET Awards, how you was moving. I don't know how much that man is paying you, but pull your skirt down, bro. Pull your skirt down. There's other niggas, and you know what I'm talking about, Drewski. You know what I'm talking about. But that energy was around you, and I saw you get uncomfortable, bro. I saw you get uncomfortable a little bit. He was real. They come around just and hey, that boy Don looked at that man and said, "You good?" But I see it from both sides. Drewski is low key one of the only people that really kept it thorough all the way through, though. Like,
fair enough.
You know, if my man's ain't rocking, I ain't rocking. But stop nut hugging. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop nut hugging. You're gonna be on the wrong side of history, brother. You're gonna be on the wrong side of history.
Save yourself. Grab him.
Man.
Grab
it's cool to be cool with everybody.
Yeah, that's a fact. All right, brothers. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it, man. So this week we had the BET Awards. Pardon me. Had the BET Awards happen this week. I thought it was a cool show for the most part. I enjoyed it. I thought Kevin Hart was smooth. You know what I'm saying? He had some funny moments. I like some of the performances. But I don't really, you know what I mean? Like the BET Awards, BET Hip Hop Awards, to me these days, it's not really like an event as it was when I was a kid. So like it was a cool show for me, but that's kind of really all I have for it. Which is y'all.
I will say I can tell they actually put some more money behind it this year.
So, definitely.
Like from past years, it looked like they actually had like some care and some thought into it. And you know, I mean, the production looked dope. You know what I'm saying? You could tell they trying to move into the new era with the streamers, so they trying to update what they doing because it seemed like BET was behind for a while. You know what I'm saying? Just in terms of same old shit, like copy paste. But I'm glad Dot showed up. because that's important for like those type of award shows.
Yeah.
You always win awards and they just shooting them to you in the mail.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As far as black entertainment television, they need that platform of like the greatest rapper in the world currently to be there and
Yeah.
receive those awards. Shit, bro. I mean, it wasn't the hip hop awards, it was just the BET awards. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
true.
I know I see people tweeting about ciphers and shit. I'm like, bro, this the wrong,
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
couple months.
joint.
Yeah.
We got a
But-
couple months before we get there. That's in like October.
and everybody, I mean, it was just the only shit I didn't like now, bro, to be real, bro, niggas, it's the clout chase shit for me. Like everybody be out there trying to see how much rank they got and then getting embarrassed on the carpet. Like, hey, bro, let me bring my camera in. Niggas is like, but ain't no cameras for you.
Yeah.
Kai pull up. Hey, bro, no, just go ahead, go straight through, but just pull out what you want. You
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. It's
You're not
it's certain. It's levels. Yeah.
Know your
it's
way.
levels. Yeah.
Know your, you know what I mean? But
For sure.
other than that, it was dope, bro. Oh my God. The Wale shit, man.
Yeah, we was gonna get into it. Yeah,
We'll wait.
yeah, we're gonna get into it. Ev,
We'll
what you thought? What you thought of the show?
Man, I got a different take. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I fucked with the BET Awards this year, dog.
I'm not mad at you.
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro, watching it. And it was one of those things where I forgot. Like, I remember I saw it like a week ago, like, oh, the BET Awards. I'm like, oh, because it's been lackluster for I say, especially once COVID came. COVID, actually, I'll say one of those years it was a bright spot because of how they did the performances.
Yeah.
But besides that, it's probably had like one good BET Awards in like the last 10 years. And I would say with them giving tribute to 25 years of I guess 25 years of the 2000s, because I don't really know what's 25 years because they've been in existence for 45 years. So I don't really know what the 25
was it 25 years of the BET Awards, maybe?
Possibly.
I guess so. I guess it was the 20. I guess so. So, but it was just like, and like you said, they put more money behind it. It's like, I kind of feel like they ripped a page out of like the 04 awards, the 05 award. They with the like they kind of pushed up nostalgia. The 106 and Park tribute was fire. Having all the legends coming back out, the tribute Snoop, like all that, they kind of went back into the old day of the BET Awards. Kevin Hart was fire with the jokes. He was cooking. And I will say Kevin Hart is at his funniest when he doing that, like improv on the spot cooking things.
Yeah.
Like that's his best. And as a host, he did it, like you said. It was great, him showing up. The only thing I would say I didn't like for real was a lot of the performances outside of the tribute to 106 and Park and Snoop of the newer artists they were pretty short. Like they were really short on performances. They had a lot of performances, and that maybe why they did it that way. But they were pretty short with the performances themselves. But I would say, man, like from top to bottom, they kind of hit the numbers. Yeah, except for Jamie Foxx.
And I will say, you crazy. I will say too, though, it's very important to like keep that thing alive, like award shows and having something physical where people can pull up to. You know what I'm saying? Like we starting to get so far away from that now. That's one thing that can keep the culture grounded and rooted in like, all right, we all still can come together. We all can still celebrate, what everybody's doing in the industry. Because it's more than just the Grammys. It's more than just the Tonys and the Oscars. Like, bro, there's some shit that's just for us.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I don't want us to lose sight of that. And, I hope they continue to put money into it. Like,
definitely
make the shit bigger.
Facts. Big facts. What you mean by Jamie Foxx?
Let's kind of go back to my cap and my raps, and I might get cooked for this. So the tribute to Jamie Foxx, I loved it. Aside from the tribute, the speech, we already heard his speech in his stand-up. So that was pretty, like if you watch the stand-up, I will say hearing his speech was probably like, bruh. Because it was literally the exact same.
It's the same thing, yeah.
So, but I ain't gonna go into detail on that. That was one thing. But when we get to the tribute, I had a problem with one person, and it was the very first person. Yeah, he a legend. Yeah, his mama named him Kenneth. But Babyface, bro, if you can't sing a song in its like tone and pitch, and this goes back to my cap and my raps. When you do a tribute, it's not your time to put your spin on it. You need to be singing it in the way it was produced. You sounded nothing like Jamie, bro. You were trying to put your Kenneth Babyface Edmonds bag onto it, and it was
Don't
not
do
hit.
my son Babyface like that, man.
Bro, it wasn't hit. And it kind of almost turned me off from the whole tribute because it's like, bro, this don't sound, and it was kind of crazy. It was like, wow, that song 20 years old too. It's like, oh wow, this is like a monument for Jamie too, with the award, with everything he went through. But it was like, bro, you trying to croon this and it is not working. Like, cut it out. Like,
Okay.
I was happy when Ludacris came out. It was like, thank God this nigga done.
Okay.
The rest of it was fire. Tank, Jennifer Hudson, Dougie, Teddy Riley too. Yeah, Teddy Riley was that talk box on Blame It. Nah,
Yeah.
you could have cut that out. Those were my two misses on that. But other than that, it was fire. But yeah, the can't sing in the pitch and tone of the song you doing the tribute to. Because I could have just took Jamie out there.
I'm not mad at that. I ain't mad at it. So, as y'all stated earlier, Kai Sanaa and Wale had a little interaction at the BET Awards. Wale sees Kai, says what's up. They exchange dap. Wale keep it moving. Kai gets in the car and is like, who is that? And looks it up, says his name wrong. And then he's like, his man is in the back.
Say Whale or
Whaley,
That's
something like that. And his man is in the back trying to like explain to him, like, nah, bro, like Lotus Flower Bomb, like certain records. And he's like, oh, okay. Later on in the show, Wale pulls up on Kai and is like, yo, man, you got me looking crazy. Like, that whole situation that just kind of got me looking crazy out here, but we'll talk about it later. And he moves on. And this causes a bit of a thing. How old is Kai? How old is Kai Sanaa? Like,
about
like
23, 24, 25.
23, 24, something like that.
I'll make sure I verify it right now.
Old enough to know Wale, bro.
I'm not.
He was born in 2001.
He was born in 01.
Old enough to know
in December.
Wale, bro.
I mean, like if Lotus Flower Bomb is what,
12,
11, 12, something like that.
Yeah.
So Kai is probably what, in 5th grade?
But Wale has had other shit since Lotus Flower Bomb. Like,
that's true.
See, I think, and we got to fix this too. Like, we got to keep this clean because it's become a thing in the culture to like lack knowledge now of like what has come before, and I do feel Wale a little bit. It's a tad bit disrespectful, but in the culture in general, like everybody cop out is like, I'm a young nigga. Like,
that's fair.
Bro, do your homework.
Yeah,
like,
that's fair.
You know
that's fair.
Like, if you really rock with hip hop, how you don't know Wale?
Yeah, that's a fact.
Come on,
that's a very fair point. One of the pillars of hip hop is knowledge. You must go do your knowledge. That's a fact.
And being in one of the biggest groups within the last 15 years
in hip hop,
you don't know Wale.
Yeah, and we can't act like Wale ain't got hits. We can't act like we can't play these games. Yeah, Casanaa, you was bugging. You need to know who Wale is, man.
Spin it. Wale dropped the little joint on Twitter, like, oh, it was a commercial. Wrong.
Nah,
I didn't even see that. I
didn't see that. I didn't see that. Stop capping. Stop capping. Stop capping, Wale.
And then Kai gets back on stream and was like, bro, I'm young. I don't. Who the fuck is Wale, bro? I don't know him. I'm like,
yeah, nah.
This is it. Just look, y'all didn't have it coordinated at all. Like, so Wale tried to clean it up. You made it look even worse after that.
Right. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Man, I gotta be honest, bro. We wouldn't. I love Wale. This is a part of why people talk about Wale in the manner that they do. It's the passion behind him and all that. You didn't have to go back up to him and say, hey, bro, you got me looking crazy. We gonna handle this later. You could have just handled it later.
That's true, but at the same time,
it's just how it's optics. It is optics in it, though.
It's optics, but also it's like if everything isn't on stream, we don't even know that they have that. I get you. Yeah, that's fair. That's a fact too.
You talking to a streamer?
Too, everything is streamed now.
That everything is on stream. So
camera everywhere, and I'm pretty sure Wale wasn't thinking when he walked up to Kai like that people was gonna hear that conversation. I'm almost positive he wasn't thinking like that.
Yeah,
but
that's for sure.
In turn, like I don't know how that makes Wale look to the general masses, but it's kind of like I don't know, bro. Like,
I don't
because
think he
people
did nothing
already
wrong.
they look at
He
Wale a
didn't. He
certain
didn't.
way already.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think Wale is in the space where, like, when it comes to public perception or court of public opinion or whatever, I think he's always gonna kind of get the short end of the stick just because of his history up to this point. And I do think that like makes people withhold some of the accolade and some of the like grace and attention and that he deserves, because Wale is dope, like been dope type shit. So it's like, yeah, I think, and he's done and made music that's like very, very, very impactful. And I think if folks didn't like look at him in that way, he would get a lot more of the stain and notoriety that the Drakes, Kendricks, etc. have as well.
I mean, I think it's also it's like you see is Wale is a prime example of this of being an artist, and one part about being a great artist or just in general doing any type of art is people liking you in general
Yeah.
as a
Yeah.
human being and as a person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And Wale definitely has rubbed a fuckload of people the wrong way in interviews, and I know behind the scenes you hear it all the time.
Yeah.
And it's just like, bro, you don't music can only take you so far, bro. People have to like you as a human being. And I think that's always been Wale's problem, though. So
Yeah, that's true. And it's like I feel him though, because like the call to complex, it's like I get it. Like if I'm, you know what I'm saying, you telling me bruh album better than mine. It's like I feel you, but it's just like you
like Wale would have did very well in the 90s.
right. Yeah, like running down on folks and all like that energy. Maybe that's what it is. He's just not of the his energy is predated
90s
to it.
energy, bro.
And that's what I was going to say is that,
Do
like
your
how you
Googles.
said, is that music only take you so far. That's another part of it too. Is that like for him, when the dope music slows down, and when it finally, when you already not as likable, and people are rocking with you because, bro, you making undeniable music, hooks, hits. Well, now the music just slowed down now, and you making mixtapes. You only gonna keep your core now.
Yeah.
Like back in 2016 when Chaser Summers is coming out, I think that's the name of it with the track. But when you drop
Summer
it,
on Sunset.
Summer on Sunset, I'm sorry, yeah, with Valentino on there. When you got when you was dropping them tapes, well, now your likability is coming into effect because you're not making these major hits. You're not getting these major pushes. Even though you got stellar albums that still are dropping, is now the likability has to take it more into play. Then
Bro,
the J. Cole shit
Florence
happened
was
back then.
cold.
You know, it's just a lot of stuff that come into effect. And like, okay, now COVID have impacted every artist. Now you really can't do nothing. And now where your likability at? And you older, everybody's grown, everybody's aged up. How you gonna get the newer generation?
Yeah.
Well, now we here in 2025 doing this. Ain't how you gonna get the newer generation when you are trying to get some buzz again. Because now they like, oh, this nigga, they gonna honestly be like, oh, he's emotional. This what the elder said. And that like that, how that notion, that preconceived notion of how you already felt, people felt about you, is I'm just gonna consistently stay there.
And last thing on Wale, I think the other part about Wale is I believe he lacks awareness of how other people view him. And Wale sees himself a certain way, and because as an artist, you going through the journey, you work so hard to, make the music, and you just like, all right, this shit should just be about the music.
Yeah.
And he'll argue with motherfuckers on Twitter, like, and now you trying to figure out why you the butt of the joke and you not getting it.
Yeah, fact. Yeah. Yeah, facts. Every time you engage, you make the joke. Like it's like yeah,
Just
exactly.
get off the internet.
Facts. That's a fact. Keeping it with the BET Awards though, Doechie's speech, I wanted to tap in with this real quick. She said, just a couple excerpts real quick. I feel like it's my responsibility as an artist to use this moment to speak up for all oppressed people, for Black people, for Latino people, for trans people, for the people in Gaza. We all deserve to live in hope and not in fear. And I hope we all stand together. Trump is using military forces to stop protests. Consider what kind of government it appears to be when every time we exercise our democratic right to protest, the military is deployed against us. First off, bravo. First off, great speech, great way to use your platform, great way to take that moment and spread awareness to something that is real and going on in real life. Like we can cut all these cameras off. It's real life going on right outside this building at this very moment. So yeah, I thought the speech was dope. I don't think she wasted a word. What was y'all's take on this? Let's go, Ev.
Oh, I love what she said. I loved everything she said because it was true. Hell, it was happening literally right outside the door.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And it's something that's really impactful because they still put on the BET Awards, and you got all these celebrities. This is the time. Hey, let's understand. We all probably had security escort us around this. You know what I'm
hmm
saying? Like
hmm
in our drivers and stuff, and we walking past this, and a lot of us from LA living in this. Let's really be aware to this. And a part of that brings me to another something I was thinking, and this is a hot take, and it has nothing to do with Doja. Uh, I think a lot of like networks, awards, ceremonies, things of that way. I think they also when they pick award winners, which is this is the politicking part in it that comes into play. I think they have certain winners because they know their speech will be driven into a specific nature. And it's one of those things where us as a company and a brand, we can't fully engage and say we want this, but we know at least on this platform, this one person out of all these other award winners who are going to talk about themselves, talk about God, talk about their friends, we know somebody's going to take that bridge and speak it out there to everybody.
hmm
And I don't want to say it's in a performative manner, but I think it's just something that like is
Like
taken into consideration.
like they kind of cover their bases that way, type of thing.
Yes. Whereas,
I
and
get
that's why I say it's where they always realize, because let's be real, who else maybe in that category you think would have took that stance to make that speech? Because everybody want to Glorilla to win, for
right.
example.
Yeah.
And not assuming but judging, but do we think Glorilla would have taken that stance in that speech?
No,
And I think it's
I
one
don't
of those
see it.
things when you start to look at all the award winners potentially in the night, you have to look at who do we have in this category who could take that stance. And so you find it in one category, and again, that's why I said it's not dealing with the person, but it's dealing with the who we know will take
Yeah.
that. And I think it's one of those things where I think sometimes that's placed with the politicking too, where it is let's cover our bases for those we know they gonna jump on it, and not gonna be jokes, not gonna be games. It's gonna be a serious manner where everybody's gonna tune in, especially when it's the right voice as well.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so like that's why I say I appreciate everything she said. It was because she did it again at the Grammy, when
Yeah.
she had won the award. Like that's why I say I fuck with it. That was great.
Yeah. What you think? What you thought, Rose?
Um, I think it's dope. Obviously, number one. But I think again, I think shit has just gotten so off kilter with artistry now, where like, especially in hip hop has always been a group where people are socially conscious of things that are going around because that's what the raps is about. They about the stuff that's actively happening in your life, what's going on in the neighborhood, and it's stories and things that are true to you and authentic. And
Yeah.
I think a lot of artists they're afraid to even speak on that stuff now because it fuck with your dollar. But man, it's so can't no dollar like you can't place the influence and the power of your words with the dollar. So you can't be afraid to speak up and be your authentic self, bro. And I'm like I wish hip hop would be more of that again. Like
Yeah.
shit done got we're the butt of the joke. Like hip hop is the butt of the joke now. You know what I'm saying? It's no barrier to entry. Anybody come here and do this shit. Like, don't nobody know the history. So when somebody come up there and really speak like they got some fucking sense, I salute that.
Yeah, for sure. Salute to Dolce, man. I think Nina Simone has a quote, and I'm paraphrasing, but to the extent of like, if you're making art, it needs to reflect the times, and you are like a voice for the times that you are in, and the reflection of that society. And using your art and your voice to reflect it is kind of like your purpose as an artist, if that's what you're gonna do. And salute to Dolce for doing that. Salute to Kendrick for doing that when he does, because you don't always do it, brother. I see you. But yeah, man. Salute to BET. Shout out to the BET Hip Hop Awards. Tyler Perry, stop making these badass movies. Stop. If you're gonna give the speech talking about how they trying to erase our voices and erase our history and erase the schooling and all, if you're gonna give the speech about all of that, when you get in front of us, make the art to reflect it. Use your platform to do that. Stop showing us our women in terrible positions for 3 hours at a fucking time, bro. Tired of this shit. All you want to show us is women just fucked up and fucked up and fucked up, and any man that they find is beating their ass. Like, we don't need. But then you want to get on stage and talk about they're trying to erase our history. Well, why don't you use your platform to try to fight back against that, brother? The fuck? Sorry, my bad, y'all. My fault.
I will say that speech was
the fucked up part about Tyler Perry is, and he's spending his own money doing this.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you got a whole stadium spot.
That's
to
the
pump out this bullshit.
Like, is that like, man, bro? It's not like, you know, some producers, and you know, you got to go find the bag and you got to make the slave movie. You got to go. You're doing this. Movie. Yeah, you digging in your own pocket to go do this, bro.
Some bullshit.
You got to cut that shit out.
Come on,
and then
man.
you out there saying, you know, hey, I employ the most and pay them the most combined.
Which
but guess what? You are.
And look at what you're paying them to do.
You're adding to the degeneracy.
Look at what you're paying them to do. Look at what you're paying them to portray.
They don't have to do those movies.
It's true.
They don't.
It's true.
And obviously it's being watched by somebody too. We got to keep it clean too. It's obviously people keep trauma bonding going too.
It's trauma bonding, bro.
And that's what I mean about the money thing, bro. It becomes a certain time where it's like enough. It can't be just about money no more, bro. It can't be.
That's a fact. That's
like,
a fact.
Look at what you look like.
Come on, man. But
it's gonna live forever.
Yeah, that's the point. That's the part.
Wait, see, we might have to really keep it clean on Tyler Perry because this ain't nothing new. This ain't nothing new.
You've been doing this for 20 years.
Like, no, for 30.
30 years.
Like the plays were like, when you think about it, the plays, they were Christian related. Like they were all spiritually and religion based, and you building off of.
Yeah, we might have to zoom in on Tyler Perry.
Might have his own segment.
Yeah, we might have to one off Tyler Perry one day and just zoom in on that.
And how we all loved it, you know, it's just
Yeah, but shout out to BET. Salute to y'all. I hope y'all continue to do these shows. I hope the BET Hip Hop Awards is just as crazy. I'm looking forward to the ciphers as always. Let's keep it going. We gotta get slightly serious a little bit. I mean, yeah, we'll see. Israel sent missiles at Iran over the last week, targeting their nuclear sites in an attempt to stop them from having nuclear capabilities. They killed a few of their commanders, high-ranking officials, and have effectively started a war with Iran. Iran has responded with a slew of missile strikes at Israel, some of which have been successful. Reportedly, they've hit the IDF headquarters, ministry headquarters. There's obviously the threat that America will be involved soon as we give Israel a whole lot of their artillery and we fund making the Iron Dome that's supposed to protect a city. Good luck with that. Well, I don't seem to be doing too well. But yeah, that's what we got so far. What do y'all think it is? I'll start real quick. I don't know what's about to happen. I just have the question: if a Muslim country decided to send missiles at Israel in a preemptive strike to stop their nuclear capabilities in an attempt to protect themselves, would that be called self-defense by the West? And would the West be standing by Iran and saying that they have a right to exist and defend themselves? That's the only question I have. My brothers, what y'all got?
Netanyahu is a fucking coward. In every sense of the word. Allegedly, you have fled to Greece, brother, after starting a war. And to flee and not stand with your people. I mean, it tracks. It adds up. I'm not gonna get into why, but it tracks.
No, we can get into it.
Yeah, no, that tracks for Netanyahu and them folks. Like it tracks.
Netanyahu has been running around various countries for like the last year, evading ICJ charges.
Yeah,
on humanitarian violation.
He's a war criminal, bro.
Facts. He's a war criminal. That man is administering a genocide.
Yeah.
Period. Period.
And
That's what he got going on in Gaza, and now you started a war with Iran, and
it
you
just don't
finna
get
try to
more
use
powerful.
us. You
Lean
finna try to
Georgia.
come and get America to big boy you and take over, so that now we looped into your bullshit.
Ain't no try. They done already said we
They
joined.
didn't already
Yeah,
We
started.
yeah,
already
well,
And
we
I
yeah,
was
already
just like,
joined for
bro,
defense.
honestly, as being America, bro, you gotta let them folks just shoot the fade. Like,
yeah,
Yeah.
real
let them
deal.
shoot their fade and stay up out of that. But knowing us,
Knowing
Nah,
we
him.
can't stay out of it.
yeah, nah, it's not
Israel
gonna happen.
has way too much influence here, and we're obviously going to be in it. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out because I mean I did see a report that Iran does plan to attack U.S. bases out there next. So
Yep. So that's really finna, yeah, it's finna turn it
yeah,
up. It's finna turn it up. It's finna turn it up.
we'll see.
And I just really want to say this too. A part of being pussy to attack first and then put yourself in a state of emergency. Come on, bro.
That tracks.
Like,
It's Netanyahu.
like you
It
know what I'm
tracks.
saying? And then, like you said, he flee. Like it's kind of like what we doing? Like, how you gonna do that? How are you gonna go and then hide your hand? Like, oh no, what was us?
I just want to understand what is the issue with Iran having nuclear capability, but the US can have nuclear capability, Israel can have nuclear capability, but they don't even sign the paperwork that lets you know whether they have nukes or not. They can just completely skirt around sanctions, any type of investigations on what they're doing. They can skirt around all of that, but let them folks develop what they got going on. And this, oh, we need to see what y'all doing, and you get to attack them. Nah, I'm not rolling. I'm not rolling. I see what's going on. We got to keep it clean. We got to keep it clean. This is some cap. This is this is this is more of a war on brown people globally. You know what I'm saying? We already see what we got going on over here. This is a global situation where Israel has what's the word? Israel has desires to expand their land and expand their borders.
Yep.
And this is how they're going about doing it.
This is just greed
Yeah,
in every sense of the word, bro.
this is
Because
what that is.
if they can move Iran out the way, they control that whole region now.
Exactly. They've been spreading out and flattening Gaza for the last year. They're committing genocide over there. They're trying to move and gain territory over there, knock off the biggest threat that they have to them in the area with our help. And now that's our strategic outpost in the Middle East as well. So we would get more influence over there as well. So yeah, it's some bullshit.
Was Kanye right?
No. There's a separation. There's a separation
I'm
between.
trolling.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. For sure. Okay.
I'm
For
trolling.
sure. For sure. For sure. All right. So that's cool. We can wrap that one. So here, over the last week in LA, there's been a lot of protests taking place. A lot of ICE protests going on. Just to give y'all kind of a rundown of what's been going on. So, ICE did some raids earlier in the week, last week, and protests started to break out. I started arresting people in various places throughout Los Angeles, and protesters came and started blocking their path, breaking, vandalizing the vehicles, setting stuff on fire, and just really not moving out the way. And this has caused the protests to spread from where they started to like Compton and different cities. There's a No King's Day protest today. Today, actually, today and tomorrow. So there's a lot going on in LA, and this has caused a lot of backlash and a lot of conversation, especially within our community, as far as solidarity and the question of should we stand with the immigrants and with these different communities that are in threat at this time. What do y'all think? First, I'm just want to start. What do y'all think about the protests themselves, about the ICE raids, and where we stand within it?
I would say I'm with the protesters because I understand, you're fighting for, freedom. Again, if this country is going to be what it is of the American dream, you know what I'm saying? These people have already been here. They've already been trying to gain that same thing. I'm with the protesters. You know what I'm saying? Fight, help. Let them stay. Let them work out. So I'm against ICE of hell. Well, anything Trump involved, essentially, damn near. I'm fuck it,
Yeah.
fuck it. So it's kind of at that. So it's like I'm kind of against with dog. So I'm with it. And uh, when it comes, what was the second question? I'm sorry.
It's the where should we stand as far as like, in support, as far as pulling up to the protests, as far as, organizing on behalf of those communities as well.
Before I answer that, I'm gonna let Rose give his opinion on it, and then we'll
Okay.
dive into that. So Rose, you go ahead and give your opinion on it, and then I'll dive into that.
What specific part would you like me to answer first?
Just first off, how you feel about the protests, the ICE raids, and just kind of the climate that's becoming with this Trump administration.
Y'all knew this was coming. That's number one. Y'all knew this was coming, and I'm not gonna say you should have kind of got your ducks in a row, but you should have been making some moves, man. Because you knew it was gonna get nasty soon as bro pulled up. Like, that's just what it is. But if we go back, he's not the first person to do this. So
it's a fact.
There has been man. There's multiple ways I feel about the ICE thing in general. I guess because I don't want to sound insensitive. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the last thing I want to come off as. In a place where you're telling me you want to stay, you're going to protest and tear that place up because you don't want to leave to go back to the place where, like, I'm conflicted about the protesting, but I know how they work with the planting people out there to make shit like that happen, and you start tearing shit up and you false flags and all that good shit. I guess I will ask one of y'all, do you believe, how should this be handled? Like, should it be handled in the way of these people should be able to stay here in the way of they should receive all the things that we have as being American citizens and treated accordingly? I'm trying to put this in
I get you,
in a good way. Do you believe that they reserve all the rights that U.S. citizens have, and they should be able to just kind of be?
I think, real quick, I think they deserve due process. First off, just like, if they not here legally, you know what I'm saying, that's a civil offense. You know what I mean? So there's routes that you can take that's not rounding them up and just shipping them somewhere. That's like against the law. High key. So I don't rock with that. As far as like, should they be able to stay long term? I'm not a fucking immigration policy expert, brother. I don't necessarily know.
Just give your opinion.
I would say, you know what I'm saying? If you've been here, you came over here, you trying to work, you get a job, and that's what you do, like, you work, that's it. I don't see no reason. Like, if you add into the benefits of America, like, they don't get healthcare, they pay into this to taxes, they don't get Social Security. So it's like they're already not getting all of the benefit that they would get by being an American, and they still paying into the system like they would as an American, to whatever extent that is. So it's like, at that point, I'm kind of like, yeah, at least let them get some fucking healthcare outside of the emergency room. You know what I mean? But that goes back to me feeling like, everybody should have healthcare and things like that. I don't care if you legal or not, type shit. It's like, if you over here, you over here. I can't just treat you like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, if it show up at my door, like, you know what I'm saying, kids show up at the door and they at my door, and it's like, I can't just turn them away. Personally, I don't feel like I could do that. Like, you already here, bro. We'll deal with it to the best extent we can while we can, and see about getting you to wherever you can go. If that means you got to stay here, then we got to figure that out. But if you already over here, because most of them folks is just over here making money, trying to get some bread, and either go back or like send bread back. So it's like they're not even over here on no bullshit. So
Well, it becomes, I think, and good explanation. I think the conversation is very nuanced and becomes very convoluted when it's not just those people that want to work that are coming over here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
And
true.
on top of that, at what point, especially with the economy the way it is now currently, and people that are outside, stuff is messed up outside.
Mhm.
When does America put itself first?
But see, that's a for me that question is weird because America play both sides of it.
Oh yeah,
America,
and which I understand. Which I
so that's
understand.
so that's where I get confused because it's like y'all will profit off of the lower wages that you pay
Yeah.
these people,
Mhm.
knowing that they're illegal and that's why you do it, and you can get all of that on the back end and save all of that money and scheme on the government. But then you want to like turn around and make those same people the scapegoat. That
Yeah,
doesn't.
capitalism is
Yeah,
this is what capitalism does.
But that's what I'm saying. So like for
You know
me,
what
it's
I
like
mean?
when you say when does America put itself, like America don't ever put itself first.
But
In the
see,
sense,
I think when you were speaking, it kind of makes it seem like they're in low numbers. You know what I'm saying? Now we don't know how many people actually came over here across, but the projected number, that's a
Mhm.
fuckload of fucking people.
Mhm.
And what that inherently does, it takes jobs away from people that are actually American citizens. I mean, it just does. Like we can
It's
call
a
it what we
Not
want.
in the,
hold
but it's
on.
not, it's
Yeah,
not, I don't, it's not in the
Well,
amount that people is like
the
even.
problem
yeah,
is it works on both sides. You got the people that are hiring and doing with the jobs, they want the cheap labor. But
yeah.
there's people here that need jobs, but they only want to work for a certain number.
Certain wage. That's what I was gonna say. Yeah,
Mhm.
So
but
there's
is that
there's
really
somewhere
taken away?
it's somewhere in the middle where this can be fixed. It can be, but we know it
Mhm.
won't.
Right, but then when we get to that piece, it's like the reason why it won't be fixed is not because of those people that's coming in. It's
Yeah.
because of the people
Mhm.
that's in charge that can make a way for them to make this more beneficial for everyone. They're not going to do that because these types of arguments and this type of division keeps us fighting with one another rather
Yeah.
than looking at them to be like, yo, what are y'all doing for real? Because
Yeah,
we can keep talking like it's whole communities out here where it's like, for example, when the Haitian immigrants was coming in and they was legally in this motherfucker, by the way, when they come in and they go up to middle Rust Belt fucking America that ain't nobody paying attention to, and most of the white population out there is on dope, not able to work, and those people come in and start working and boosting up that economy, and those business owners are having a great time. Your president turned around and told y'all they was eating dogs. So it's like I can't, like, the idea is like, bro, people come over here to get bread. Everybody know that. That's the
Yeah.
American dream. So once you get over here and you get to doing it, they already paying into the taxes and all of that too. You might as well get them folks some damn health care.
I guess and this is the last thing I'll kind of say on this.
Yeah.
I guess one of the major issues here is that a place without rules and law becomes fucking lawless and it
Mhm.
can get out of control. There is
Mhm.
a process when you do want to come over here. There is a
Yeah.
process.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to follow that process, cool.
But
If
here's
you
some,
don't want to follow that process, cool. But there are consequences to you not following said process.
and that's fair.
And
And
I'm not saying that it's harsh, it's cruel, ripping families apart, but that is a part of the American process. And we that's something we're not going to be able to change. Like
yeah,
until the laws change and certain things are written in stone in black and white, that's just what it is. And if people continuously want to come over here and risk that, because everybody out here committing crimes and doing whatever the fuck, like,
Mhm.
but if that's something you want to risk for your family to make a way for yourself, this is one of those things where this can happen.
And I don't,
yeah,
it is, you're right. You are correct. I just think I think people got to take a deeper look at some of those processes. Like, for example, you come over here on asylum, you legally can't get a job for 6 months.
Yeah.
But then they'll turn around and say, but you're mooching off the community, or you're like, it's a way that you come into this joint through a legal process, and then through that same legal process, they turn around and make you a scapegoat anyway. Because if you do go get a job, because how are you supposed to feed yourself? Now you're taking jobs away, or you're taking money away, or whatever. But if I came in here and didn't have a job and then tried to apply for SNAP or whatever, you would say I'm mooching off the system. So it's like either which way, y'all need to fix y'all's process rather than talk about, you know what I'm saying, what these people is doing.
I mean, most of the laws we still living by is by the founding fathers, bro. We have to update the rules. It's a whole new world. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't know if, because I know, like, if you go to another country, like say Japan, you're not allowed to do that shit at all. And if they catch you, you're fucked. You know what I'm saying? So it's just rules and regulations to wherever you go, because that's not your spot. You know what I mean? That's like me coming to your crib and you tell me, hey, bro, take, and I hate false equivalencies, but hey, bro, take your shoes off. And you just be like, I'm going to just keep my shoes on. Hey, bro, next time I see you with your shoes on, we're going to fade. Okay. And you come back in this motherfucker and you do it, and I punch you in your shit. That's what it is.
with you. So within this, like, breaking out and all the conversation and all of this, our beloved brother Deontay Kyle stepped out to make a statement on functional solidarity. And what he said was, Black people have to reckon with anti-Blackness being pervasive throughout all cultures, while white and people of color alike. Throughout all cultures, white and people of color alike. Our humanity and empathy and not wanting to see people done how we've been done, then being called upon like guard dogs for people who not only don't answer our calls to justice, but are on the phone with our enemies. So it's kind of fuck y'all till y'all figure it out. It's Black and brown pride today, and I'm a nigga tomorrow. All risk, no reward. What was y'all's thoughts on that? Let's start with you, Ev. Me and Rose been talking for a while.
It was, I get where he coming from, but it sounded like it was a place of frustration, and it sounded like a place of reactionary, where he was coming from. Whereas, like, because I mean, we did see he apologized, or he capped out on it. Like,
we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. Yeah.
I feel like it was he was mad about, you know, something going on currently, and the voices of everything. And I get it. I understand it, but I'm gonna keep it clean here. Everybody with a microphone, and this is the duality and nuance of people, ain't always the most factual on what they saying. It's just an opinion. It's just a feeling that they get. And that's how I really, like, we've now gotten into a thing where everybody loved him, and then now not us, but the world is nitpicking what he's saying. And hell, he's even said it. He don't know Twitter like that. So he knew to really putting his thoughts out there, getting cooked for him. These niggas is people with just regular thoughts, dog. And it's really, niggas just be getting their shit off. You know, it's again, social media is an echo chamber. I understand where he was coming from, but like I said, it was reactionary to something in the moment. And like and tomorrow, the day before, an hour later, a different opinion was coming when the next thing happened, or when he had the time to sit in his thoughts. A lot of people just want to say something in the brunt of reaction and don't take the time to really think out their stuff. So then they say certain things.
What do you and before I'm gonna get to you, Rose, real quick? What do you think of, like, as far as the Black people versus POC and being in solidarity with them piece of what he said?
So this is a conversation I have with White, and one, I understand it, because let's be real, POCs, to a degree, it is Blacks versus POCs, because POCs, they no matter what color they are, they look at themselves as within a proximity to whiteness. So it is some truth in it, that they look at us the same way white people look at us, and at the majority, I would say sometimes. At the majority,
I can't say that with confidence, but I'll let you rock.
That's fine, and that's fine.
I can't say that with confidence.
I say that just from in times of, and again, it's not everybody. There are outlaws and everything, but from what we've seen, at least in present times, in the majority, because again, he's reacting off present times. He ain't reacting off what we've seen over history. So that's why I would say it's kind of how I would say it's a crabs in a bucket mentality to a degree, and I understand it. With blacks versus POCs, blacks are always on the island by themselves because of how the country was built, the sweat equity off of our backs and everything, and how we are looked when we want our certain rights. Because let's be real, for a lot of times when we want our certain rights, people look at us affirmative action, like when we are attributed to these things, they look at it like, oh, why are we doing it for them? We have to be honest, and I'm sorry to say it, but Asians over during COVID, when you see them be upset because they're mad at affirmative action because I can't get into certain schools now,
Mhm.
and they're blatantly having an attack back towards the things that were providing equality for us,
Mhm.
which does give a valid argument of, hey, y'all really be on some fuck us stuff sometimes, a lot of the time, because when there's things to aid us, you take offense. You take offense until we start to really benefit over what you expected.
Okay.
That's what I look at it with the POC conversation. POCs versus us, there is a thing that happens, and it's the proximity to whiteness of why it happens to a certain degree.
Rose.
That's your man's grifting eggs, man.
That's not my
That's
it's
your
not my
man's
man. I don't know that brother.
grifting eggs, brother.
I don't know that brother. I don't know that
Hey, man,
man.
the more niggas talk, the more things are revealed. You just let somebody talk long enough, and you shall see.
Nah, yeah, that's a fact. It's a fact. What do you feel about the black people in solidarity with people of color conversation?
I think that man, I think that the POC shit is like people use that shit in terms of like they turn it on and off. You know what I'm saying? It's an on and off switch because when we are not people of color in these people's eyes, we're black people.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm with you, Ev, on that. Like, and they use it when it's convenient, but we are all inside of the same struggle, but our struggles are not the same.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And in a perfect world, we can all work together to try to, further whatever we all trying to do and whatever we trying to accomplish. But I just think that the POC shit, even the government, they use it as well, like as a term of fuck, man. I hate these niggas, bro. Because it's very nuanced too, bro. But like black people, I'm with Ed, bro. We on an island of our own, and people want to pull us in when they need us and they need our help. And a lot of times when it's our time to get that hand, it's
See, I don't. So that's where, like, because I hear that. I hear that.
Hold on, Nick. Because
Yeah,
let me
go ahead.
say something. Because what we about to do, this is a generality, specific individuality.
yeah.
This is going to be one of those. So
Okay.
that's a part of it. It is.
That's
and
Part
if
of
we
it.
will say over history will show you. I'm not talking about history will show you that a lot of times now there will be people that stand in solidarity. Like I can't say that there's nobody that stands in solidarity. That's stupid. We've seen Asians, Hispanics, all of these people stand in solidarity with us for multiple different things that have happened.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't even think they see themselves as people of color.
But see, that's where, okay. So like I sit in the spot of feeling like whether you a person of color, black, however you want to identify yourself, if you identify with struggle, like with the struggle, like the general, what we all have to go through in terms of dealing with the US government, I don't even think like those people are paying attention in that way. Like I don't think back to what I was saying in the capping your raps, right? The only time I see folks talking about, oh, black people, y'all need to come outside is on the internet. I never hear, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
It's like I don't see this fight about, you know, who's supporting who and how many numbers come across and what. I never see it anywhere but on
yeah,
the internet. Like
Yeah.
if you go to the protest, ain't nobody counting how many Latin folks is there versus how many Asian folks is there versus,
no.
you know what I'm saying? So it's like, for me, it's like, bro, that shit, if you black and you know what you got to go through with the system, and you see how the system treats other people that's also marginalized, it already has something to do with you because you live in under the system. So whatever that system is gonna do to citizens, they can do to you.
Yeah.
Period. Period.
Mhm.
So it's like once the government gets to talk about, yeah, we just gonna do ice raids, which they're not even calculating where a whole, like where the, oh, this is where most of the illegal elite, I don't even like that term, but like, you know, this is where most of the illegal immigrants are gathered. Whoop whoop. They like, you know, most of they be at Home Depots. So they just start running through Home Depots. No, I'm dead ass.
Yeah.
No,
Like
I've
that's,
seen it
you know what I'm
personally. Yeah.
saying? Like they did just like, oh, you know, Home Depot, and then they running in schools and all this type. So it's like, if you as a black person aware of, even if you're not fully aware of like the full history of black people in this country, if you're aware of the last 5 years, last 10 years, and you see how the government can play with you, and then you watch them go commit these acts on fellow citizens, whether you want to play the whole, oh, they're not citizens or they are people that are within your borders, they're doing this too. Some of which are actually citizens getting swept up in this shit and getting sent to fucking labor camps. How do you turn around and be like, well, how many of y'all was at the Black Lives Matter protest? Like, nigga.
Yeah, well, I think one of the things is too, they have done it to us. So like we already understand how bad it can get. Like,
So that's what I'm saying. Like when it's these moments where it's like, okay, we've seen how they can get, they're doing this shit again. How do you then go, I voted the right way, so I'm gonna just put my hands up?
bro, I think niggas be tired.
Yeah.
Niggas
Yeah.
be tired. And I think right before you go, Ev, I think one thing that maybe has been a detriment to the community is us being so accepting and being in every single thing and supporting everybody, but not forcing people to do the same in return for us, bro. I think that is it's a piece that's been a detriment to our community in a myriad of ways. But I think just like when we was talking about Iran and Israel, sometimes, bro, when there are issues, you gotta stay out that shit. And it's sometimes the fade gotta get shot with like that,
But
bro.
that
And
but that's my, in these types of situations though, like
this
how
no,
do
this
you,
situation is different, bro. Like this
okay,
situation
okay,
is different.
okay. I'm
I
following.
will
Okay,
say
I'm
that
following.
before.
I'm
Yeah.
following. Well, I guess so. I guess I would ask then, because I don't all the way disagree. Black movements get, you know, commandeered and co-opted, etc. And people have turned their backs on us when, you know, it came time. But I guess, how do we then organize against that? Like, how do we ensure that if we gonna pull up, like, because this is what, back to Deontay, like people was talking about like the Rainbow Coalition, right? Rainbow Coalition started by Huey P. Newton, where it's like, and the Black Panthers, where we have our situation, these white folks over here got their situation going on, these Latin folks over here got their situation going on. Wherever our stuff overlaps, that's where we'll pull up. But outside of that, I'm not gonna be in your community trying to do all of the social work. You not gonna be in my community trying to do all the social work. When there's an event that we all can pull up to, and that coincides with what we all trying to do, that's where we put in that work, and we'll just communicate back and forth. You know what I'm saying? And in the meantime, type shit. But it's like, how do we get to a position where it's like, okay, if we gonna pull up over here, and because I don't even necessarily rock with the transactional aspect of the protest piece, because it's like, oh well, I pulled up over here, so y'all got to pull up over here. It's like, bro, if the struggle is continuous, we
Yeah.
all just need to continue pulling up. It ain't about this one versus that one type of thing. You know what I'm
I get
saying?
what you're saying with that point, but like unfortunately in the world that we live in and current like things are transactional.
Yeah.
Like unfortunately. And so people keep count and people keep score. And I'm
That's
not
true.
saying that I necessarily agree with it,
Yeah, yeah,
but I know that inherently that's how it is.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Because
true.
people not willing to jump out there unless it's something guaranteed. Oh, we for sure. Because again, let's be real. Like to Rose was saying, we jump out as a culture on everything because of everything we've endured. let's be real. When you really want to keep it a buck, black folks are the most empathetic people as a unit because we want to. I would say in America we are. Yeah, because of how we want to.
now when we get to talking to people that ain't black or American, it get real. I
Well,
don't
but
give
look
a
at how
fuck
we
about
talking
y'all and
right
what
now.
y'all got going on. As soon as it gets to some anything that ain't black, that's like like I get
I
what
think
you saying.
that's general kind of too, though, bro.
But it's like like I think a lot, especially American black folks, me being one, I think niggas like kind of idolize themselves to a degree due to the trauma, due to the pain or whatever, that it's like, oh, my shit is so specific that it's like nobody can really understand. And then you isolate yourself out to where it's like, fam, like this shit is not only happening to you. The way that the world works, it was set up in other ways and then it worked its way over here, and this is what it's doing to you. But these struggles are connected. There's a direct line of connection. All you got to do is read. But
Yeah,
we don't like take the time. We just sit in, nah, bro, you just got to understand my trauma and my oppression and what I got
yeah.
going on. It's like, I feel you, my nigga. I hear you. But at the same time, if we not addressing yours right now, do that mean we can't address nobody else's until yours get addressed? Because
No,
how
but I do. Like, it kind of just goes back to what I said, bro. Like at the beginning of the conversation, I think black people are tired, like
And that's
just
from jumping
in
into everything.
and jumping into everything, and when we still have our own issues that we still haven't fucking resolved. You know what I'm saying? And I know inherently for people, as much as we would like to give people credit for being just bright and intelligent, they're not.
that's true.
They don't read.
Yeah,
They're getting all their information from Twitter
yeah,
and
yeah.
misinformation at that.
Disinformation and misinformation for sure.
Hmm.
And so when you struggle against that, it's like, bro, we fighting a different kind of battle. Like, because it's almost so far gone that there is no it's slick no fixing it. It's
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
far gone, bro. It
I
was
hear
a
you.
time where that shit could possibly get fixed, but I think it's just so far gone, bro. And I think, and I 100% agree with you that Black Americans do hold themselves, as far as if other Black people that are not American, they hold themselves up here, and then everybody else falls up under it. So they feel like if it's not directly affecting my shit, then I don't care. Now that does not, and this is a part of evolving into a higher society, bro. And this is why we can't evolve and move forward and just continue. You know what I'm saying? You got 3D, 4D, 5D.
Mhm.
If you can't even get past fucking social issues, it's no way you can move up.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
and so
and
that's
that's
gonna be that's
yeah,
gonna be something that we continue to hit our head on,
and
played in with by the government. That's
yeah, and
smacking this shit across our head, bro.
I think that's where I'm trying to push back on. Not at you, but just
Yeah,
in the sense of like,
it's not
you
right.
know, yeah, it's not right. And more so of like, bro, it like, it's strength in numbers. It's more of us than them. It's all of that. And to the point of, if I can look at my city, and I don't necessarily say Atlanta or whatever, but if I can look at the city and see that, folks is struggling from needing jobs, don't have enough food, don't have enough resources, all of this is going on. And then I can go up here and y'all trying to talk to me about trans issues. Like, y'all trying to make like that the big thing that we like, oh,
Yeah,
bro, they're trying to put this in the school. It's like, fam, it's folks out here that can't eat. And
yeah,
and that's where I get, I guess, frustrated, because it's like, if we all can see that, like, we all dealing with that on the ground level. So why don't we, instead of being like, oh, this is your fault, it's your fault, well, you not helping this, you not helping that, why don't everybody just shut the fuck up and pick
yeah.
up something and
It's
start trying to
impossible
build?
because
I hear you.
what America has done, they have created subsections for everything, and they've
Yep.
made every
Yeah,
single group make like they feel like they're the biggest
it's the
thing
only
in
thing.
the
Yeah,
shit. And
yeah.
on top of that, bro, and I think another piece about one of my last pieces about this is, bro, we've seen people try to fix it, and we saw what happened to these people, bro. And we saw,
And Deontay, to that point, saying Fred Hampton was the spearhead for the Rainbow Coalition, and have you seen any resurgence or solidarity of his movement since? that would have more to do with the fact that the government shot him to death while he slept next to his pregnant wife than it would have to do with the people that survived that movement just not giving a fuck anymore. And I'm gonna ease up on you because you said you was drunk and you gonna do better and all of that. I would like to know what type of liquor you was drinking that made you start frying the civil rights leaders. It had to be some white, but
it even goes back to that hip hop conversation I was having, bro. For some reason, it's this thing to where people don't you want to speak about shit and you're not doing the knowledge, bro. You're not doing the history. You don't understand what the fuck happened. And for you to even fix your mouth to say anything about people that really put in pain and really put in work for this shit
and died
behind it,
yeah,
to even fix your mouth to speak disrespectful about it is fucking ridiculous.
100%.
And that goes to show, nigga, you live in an echo chamber, bro, and you feel like everything that you say, that you whatever the fuck, and whoever else you saying it to, and they're telling you that you right. Nah, nigga, you need to get away from these niggas, bro. You need to get away from them, and you need to go seek other people that will challenge your thoughts. You need to go sit down and listen to a fucking Dick Gregory interview. You need to go sit down and listen to Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and sit down and listen to what the fuck they said. It's right there.
It's right there.
It's right there.
Openly available. Like
Do
that's
the work.
Do the work. Yeah, 100%. You got some. I know we.
Yeah, I want to say a little bit going back because about the empathetic thing that I was saying, right? So when you made the mention, and it kind of go back to what both of y'all said to answer your question originally of like, how do we fix this, right?
Mm-hmm.
What I was saying about us being the most empathetic towards, I agree with you about when it comes to like non-blacks that are, but what I was meaning was like you just said, like you could say you see in the city, hey, ain't no jobs or nothing, but they talking to us about trans issues. Guess what? The leaders, the actual leaders of the movements that make the motion out there, they're gonna tell you, hey, I know we ain't got jobs, but we also need to look at these trans issues.
Yes.
And then that's where, well, guess what? We're now giving less time to the work for us to put over there. And that's where it gets like Rose said, well, niggas get tired after so long because the percent, it went from 100% issues for us to nigga, we probably down to 15% us and everything else everywhere else.
I think that's where I think the analysis is off, right? Because now for what I meant, let me clarify too. Let me clean that up. What I meant when I was saying like, you know, there's people that's lacking jobs and resources, but y'all want to talk to me about trans issues. I meant with the state of like some of the dilapidated communities and like just in need communities and poverty communities that we have, there's actual structural issues at play, but the Republican Party will pull up and press about how trans people are what's the threat to America.
Oh,
that's what I was saying, right? Gotcha. Now to your point about you know, the leaders on the other side, like the side of like progression and all of that, saying like we do need to focus on this, and feeling like because I'm focused on that removes some of the focus on black issues. That back to intersectionality, right? Black people issues, there are trans black people, there are gay black people, and it's not me putting them under. I'm just, you know, black just umbrella type shit. Not pecking order. I'm not doing that.
No, it's just
it's just the umbrella.
I see what
the umbrella. You know what I'm saying? But you know, black people is gay black people, is trans black people, you got black women, and all of this plays into like all of that oppression. It hits at different levels. So to look at this and go, you know, hey, we got our, you know, just general black issues that we trying to fix, which is, you know, how the system works with us and all of that. But within that, the system also treats our trans people a certain way that we got to put time into it. You know what I'm saying? So I think it would be better to just reassess as far as like, not to say, you know, we got 100% on black issues, but as soon as I go to trans, now it's 100 to 80 or whatever. It just, no, this 100 and we just going to spread it out here, but it's all still black.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? After every last one of those things you said, it led with black people. So
right.
They're all black issues. And I feel like, and maybe this is a thing that does need to happen, bro. Like, because, and I hate to say like, there are some things that need to be placed above others, but if niggas can't eat and drink water consistently, that would be more important to me than something else.
And that's where I was
Whatever the
going.
fuck you want to choose.
Yes. And
That's
that's
fair.
where I was
That's
going
fair.
into with both of y'all, where you said, Rose, like a part of where we won't fix it is because of like infighting. This is where the infighting happens because you said no, not pecking order. It is a pecking order, unfortunately, and it's subjective to the specificity of who is pertaining to. Because guess what? The same way, like we said, you divvying up that honey.
Mhm.
When we divvy up that honey, we look at trans issues. The same way of black trans issues. You got a lot of black non-trans who gonna say, put that at the bottom because we worried about the people that can't eat. But
Right, but it's like
that's where
also
the
the
fixing
trans
becomes
people
fucked
also
up.
cannot eat. There's trans people within that also cannot eat.
But
So I
they're
understand what y'all saying.
but they are also looking. Guess what? You have a lot of in that issue, the trans who can't eat. They're looking at, which is correct on them. Fuck not eating. I care about more about my trans rights because my trans rights are what allow me to eat.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
but okay, which is a fair
So
point
now
though.
you get
Which
your
is
pecking
but peep
order
though, but peep
from
though.
people.
Think about what you just said though. I'm worried about my trans rights, which would for them be my human rights to exist so that I can eat. Because just me existing as is, a motherfucker will kill me and strip away my or me existing as is will keep a motherfucker from giving me certain resources or providing me certain opportunities to eat. So I don't like for me again, it's like that doesn't push down the pecking order. You sit right in the same spot.
I
But
agree with you. I'm
I,
with you. But I'm saying like
yeah.
that's the infighting problem is
Yeah,
that
okay.
there's
I hear
more,
you.
and that's what
I
I
hear
meant
you.
of how do we fix it? The fixing is getting rid of that, is getting rid of the mindset of the pecking order. The problem is you can't because, like I think I mentioned this before on the episode about lived experience. People will care about a lot
Yeah.
of people care
Yeah.
about their day-to-day lived experiences and what they see
Over
versus
the greater
that.
good or the yeah.
And
I'm
that's
with
what
you.
I was saying. That's why the fixing is the problem because the mindset can't change.
And I
That's
will
fair.
say at the end of the day, bro, it's when you've been doing one thing for so long and it don't work, it's time to try something else. And I think we have been doing one thing for so long,
Very true.
and so since it hasn't been, motherfuckers been running around like chickens with their heads cut off, and there's no plan. There's nothing. It's just everybody screaming and being loud, and nobody can hear what each other actually needs.
Yeah.
The one thing that I will say, and I do understand what Ev is saying about the pecking order, there has to become a point where we all look at each other and say, bro, this is what's most important to all of us. And that comes through
That eliminates it.
communication
Yeah, for sure.
and everybody getting on one page. But it's so fucked up. But yeah, everybody getting on one page to say, all right, bro, this is what we fighting now. Okay, let's knock this off the list. Then we can knock off another one. Then we can knock off another one. But for things to be successful, you have to have plans. Things have to be
Gotta organize.
streamlined.
Gotta
You have to
organize.
be organized.
Mhm.
But with the subsections now, through every community, it's tearing down just even the fact that niggas talking about they can't even drink water because motherfuckers is like, well, I can't drink water, but and I don't know why we just keep bringing up trans shit, but whatever.
Yeah, we can move
Yeah.
off. Yeah,
That's
we can
other
move off of
issues.
them.
They're saying I'm trans and can't drink water. Okay, I understand you're trans. I get that. We all ain't eating and drinking. I think that's a little more important than you trying to hit your subsection. Now there's
The
always
subsection is
something,
what makes it the importance. That's
you know what I mean, bro? I think because I think now it's so much shit going on. We need to make shit simpler. Like, let's try to
Mm.
dumb some shit down and condense because
I
it's so much noise, bro.
I
It's
agree
so
with the
much fucking noise, and it's nobody is being able to cut through it.
I agree with the idea of like, getting a root couple issues to focus on and going there. I think, but I do think that those other, battles still have to be fought. You
they
know what I
do
mean?
have to be fought.
And this is what I'm saying though. Like not in the sense of like we don't fight those battles while we fight this battle. Like I think there can be, a situation where it's like, folks is focused on this, and then we got that subsection that want to focus on that. Y'all rock there. and another subsection will focus on something else, y'all rock over there. But the overall collective is still working on these main, you know what I mean?
And it's truthfully because we're not organized. And if you
Yeah,
organize,
yeah,
what you should do when you have leaders in the community that you trust, all these people come together as a
come together to
coalition,
speak.
and they
Yeah,
all sit down, different creeds. And I don't care what you like to wear, bro. I don't care what
Mm-hmm.
you do when you lay down with somebody. I don't care about none of that shit.
yeah,
Get
yeah,
everybody together of the lead, but it ain't no leaders. That's number one. Like we
yeah.
start there.
I was gonna say like because we wrapping up soon.
Yeah.
I wanted to close this with that part of, for the people that are on the wave of like, I voted the right way, so my job is done. Elections happen
No.
all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Elections are constantly. You need to be tapped in with your local and state politics year round.
Yeah.
Midterms is next year. You know what I'm saying? Like the control of the House and the Senate and these houses that pass these bills, like that big ass bill that he just passed, that's going to cut a whole lot of funding for a lot of people and cut jobs and cut U.S. aid for other countries. That happens during the election cycles that aren't the major one. It's not the presidential election. So I just want people to take heed and take charge. Go outside to your city council meetings.
Yeah.
Go sit in them city council meetings. You ain't got to watch C-SPAN all day, but at least be some type of aware of who is in your community that you can vote for, who is in your community that needs to not have a seat anymore, so that you can at least have some type
The
of
sheriff
understanding.
of your community.
The sheriff of like these, like, you know what I'm saying? Like these are things you can vote for where it's like, oh, that sheriff been corrupt for the last 20 years and yet he keeps coming back. You can get him off the ballot.
Victor
Like,
Hill.
you understand? You understand me? So yeah, I just want to do that little call to action, man. You ain't gotta, you ain't gotta go outside and start a grassroots foundation today and protest the government right now. You can go down to your city council meetings and just start getting some understanding, get an understanding of what's going on in the community, what needs help, what you can do, and then start from there, man. Get
And
you a
be the
couple of your
change that you
homies.
want to see. Be the
The real
change you
dope.
want to see, bro. And
That part.
that's me, you,
Yeah. Yeah.
if you got time, and sometimes nigga be tired, but like if you do actually want to see a change and if you have extra funds, you got clothes you're not wearing, go donate them.
Absolutely.
If you got some extra food that you can
Food
give
pantries.
away, bro, go give it away. Like
Facts.
don't let
That
it
part.
spoil and go bad just because it's just sitting there, bro. Go help.
Yeah, really. Honestly, go be of service. Go be of service. If you've taken anything from this episode, it's go be of service. My brothers,
Hold on, real quick. Hold
yeah,
on,
go
real
ahead.
quick.
What's up?
'Cause we've been serious. We've been real serious. Before we wind up, I got a question.
Oh, let's do it. I was gonna let the question episode. I was gonna let the question
No.
segment
I
rock
just this is because
because
it's just
that's
something like
I
the
was gonna
movie.
let Ray
So
live. But go ahead. Yeah.
no. It
What's
ain't
up?
no. It ain't even no relationship. It's just something for us, man. We had a lot of birthdays, so I'm gonna ask y'all, man, whether you got it for yourself or it was gifted. What was the best birthday gift you ever got?
Mm,
I'll go first, and I'll say it was something for me. I did it myself. So, and I would say a couple years ago, the cruise that I went on with my girl. Like at one, we got engaged on that cruise, and it was my 30th birthday. So for me, it was a
that's fire.
celebration of growing up, manhood, hitting 30. One that was like my first. That was my first true big vacation. Like, oh, this is a 10-day thing where I'm really we out. Suitcases got to be checked in. Hold on, how we going and planning all of it and all that. So I would say that's like one of the best things I ever got because it was a full trip. So that's
Yeah.
just something like I have. So I want to say. So for y'all, like I
I
said,
would
gifted or
say
you did, what's the best?
I would say probably this vinyl player because it's not just a vinyl player. It's a vinyl player, it's a CD player, it's a tape player, and you can take whatever you're playing from the vinyl tape or CD and rip it to an MP3. And my beat making ass,
Tough.
well, I almost jumped through the goddamn ceiling when she told. I looked at that, I said, "Wait, I can take the." Oh, I'm about to go crazy. Like it just, you know what I'm saying? So one of them where it's like, I love a functional gift.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I love a gift
Absolutely.
that I can use. So between that, yeah, it'd be between that and some music software or something. But like
Okay.
it's probably that because that's somewhere it's like I can build up a record collection. I can use that same record collection to add to my music itself. So like, yeah, that she snapped at that. They appreciate you, baby. You went
That's tough.
crazy. Yeah. What you got, Rose?
I think for me, bro, it would have been the most recent birthday I had where Shorty took me to Japan. I got to see a whole different side of life that opened my mind up to just a whole different frequency and possibilities of what I believe I can do. And just, you get so caught up in this American shit, you start to believe like this is it.
Yeah.
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 And you go see how other people live and just taking the time to go see a different culture, different food, different
Yeah.
just the
A whole
care that
different
people
atmosphere.
have, bro.
Yeah.
Different. It's a different frequency out there, bro. So I would by far that's the best birthday gift I ever got, bro.
Yeah.
So that's what's up. That's what's up. Oh, my brothers, I appreciate y'all for pulling up, man. As always, this has been another episode of the Keep It Clean podcast. Episode dropping every Tuesday. Please be sure to be on the lookout for that. We got one-offs coming soon as well. We got a sports show coming soon. As soon as the finals wrap up, we got y'all, I promise. But until then, Nico, Rose, Ev, keep it clean, boys. Ray, stay safe. Party responsibly, my brother. Y'all keep it clean. We out.